Chrissy, and I have been traveling for the past 8 months on a backpacking trip all over the world, and I have been getting a lot of questions since I get back about how did you do it, what kind of gear did you bring, if I want to do something similar, what kind of gear should I bring, what was the best stuff that you use. So I thought since it's holiday time and people are putting together wish lists, that I would come up with maybe the top 10 things that I think are the most useful tools to have with you when you're backpacking. So let's get to it. The first thing obviously that you're going to need is a backpack. This one is the one that I use from Osprey. It's really great. I highly recommend this backpack. This is the Farpoint 70 liter. And what I liked about this backpack is that it is a clamshell style. So a lot of the backpacks you'll see people use on trekking are top loaders. They open from the top and you have to take everything out to get to the things at the bottom. This opens up very much like a regular suitcase. So just the normal clamshell style. That way if there are things that you want to get to while you're in there, it's really easy. You don't have to take everything out and put everything back in. And then the next thing that you're definitely going to need are these packing cubes. These are made by the brand eBags. I tried a few different brands out while I was trekking and hiking and traveling, and these by far were the best. My friend Carrie gave me these as a going away present for my travels, and these were one of the best things that I recommend. The best thing about packing cubes is you can put like things together, so maybe you put shirts in this bag and you put pants in this bag, all your toiletries in one bag. So that way when you take things out of your big backpack, you only have to take out one packing cube or 2 packing cubes instead of digging through all your stuff and then taking it all out and putting it back in. This is a really, really easy way to stay organized, and I highly recommend them. Third thing that you're going to need is a water bottle. I use this one from Camelback. It was pretty easy. Camelback makes a lot of good products that I really like. The only negative downside to this one is it's hard and not collapsible. I kind of like the collapsible ones a little bit better so that when they're empty, they're not taking up so much dead space in your pack. But it's really good to have a bottle of your own. A lot of places that you'll travel, especially if you can have access to tap water and it's safe to drink, fill up and use these bottles instead of just putting more plastic in the landfill, or some countries don't really recycle, so that's the only place for it to go. It's just really good for the environment to bring your own and use something like this that you can use over and over again. And I can't recommend bringing carabiners highly enough. This is kind of a secret that's not really on the list, but I brought a lot of these, and it's a really good secret way to expand the size of your bag if you bring too many souvenirs home that you weren't planning on. This allows you to clip things to the outside of your bag, so when you need to carry, or even if you need to carry like a wet towel sometimes when I was on a trek and it didn't fully dry, you can just hang it on the outside of your pack while you're hiking instead of scrunching up inside and just letting it dry. Next, let's talk about maybe some technology. A couple of the most important things that I brought when I was traveling. The first 2 were certainly a splurge, but I think they were I really recommend them, and I think they were worth it. These are Bose noise canceling headphones. They are awesome for being on a plane, being on a bus, even just staying in a hotel that maybe doesn't have the thickest walls. There were a number of times when I put these in for a couple hours when I needed to get to sleep, didn't even plug it into anything, just turn the noise canceling on, and you can't hear anything. I mean, it's really great. I would not recommend putting these in, when you're walking down the street, trying to tune things out, probably for safety purposes. But if you need to get some shut-eye, there's no better way than using these noise-canceling headphones. Second thing I would recommend is, for active travelers, is the GoPro. You cannot go wrong with the GoPro. This is the newest model, the Hero 5. And what I like about the Hero 5 over some of the older models, number one is the vibration canceling, and the image stabilization. So if you're on a bike or on anything that's bouncy, the video on here is going to look much more like it looked to your natural eye, like when you're actually riding a bike, instead of a little bit bouncy sometimes like a video camera can be. The other great thing about the Hero 5 is that it has the ability to take not only a really wide angle shot like some of the past GoPros, but it also can take really narrow field of view shots or just more natural field of view shots, so you have more choice in doing that. I highly recommend these if you're going to scuba dive. They're really, really great for taking underwater. You don't have to have any special housing or anything like that to use the Hero 5 underwater unless you're going more than 10 meters. You can just take this right out of the box, throw it in the pool, do anything you want. And as a bonus feature, I would also recommend getting some sort of lanyard. You can easily just slip this around your wrist. It's kind of a good piece of safety equipment. You don't want to be thinking about other things or trying to keep a camera safe when you're underwater and trying to scuba dive. So just having this attached to you just gives you one less thing to think about. You don't have to worry about dropping it or anything like that. It's just always there with you. So I recommend the GoPro Hero 5. And the third piece of technology that I would not be able to go without is I knew that I wanted to be able to store a bunch of my media, and I wanted to be able to write while I was traveling. And so, but I didn't want to bring my computer because it was just too big, too bulky, and I wanted something that was just a little bit scaled down. So what I got instead was a Samsung Galaxy 2 tablet with an extra keyboard attachment. It doubles as a case, so a case and a keyboard. You can pop this thing out pretty much anywhere. It's really small, really lightweight, and Samsung offers the ability to add expanded memory. So I have a 256 gig card in here that allows me to keep all my media, and I never have to worry about running out of space. It's really easy, connects with Google Photos, so you don't have to worry about backing anything up either. Pretty happy with this, and I didn't miss my normal computer once when I had this when I was on the road. Let's talk about some clothing really quick. The number one piece of clothing I recommend to anyone traveling is Smartwool anything. Smartwool makes performance outerwear that just never stinks. So you can get it as dirty as you want, hike in it, whatever you want to in it, and you will wash it out of fear that you stink way before you actually stink. So these are the Smartwool socks. I love these. Traveled with these all the time, and they still smell amazing. These ones are clean. And Smartwool also makes great jackets. So I always carried this jacket with me in places where I thought I might need a jacket. This one is filled with really light down. But it's really breathable. It's really great for if it's just a little bit cold or if it's a lot cold, and it's really packable. It smashes down quite a bit, so if you want to roll it and use it as a pillow when you might not have a pillow if you're on a trek, or even if you're on an airplane, double uses for this jacket, which is really good. Smartwool products are awesome. I would definitely use them. The third thing related to travel packing that I would recommend is a laundry bag. This one is really good because it's really thin, really lightweight. You can separate all the stinky stuff from the fresh stuff, and when you find a laundromat, just give it to them. It's really easy. It's also good to have one that you can easily identify. So many people bring their laundry to laundromats in plastic bags, and then if you forget your ticket, which I do all the time, they can never find which one's yours. This one was really easy to just point out and say, yep, that one was mine. And finally, the last piece of clothing that I highly recommend are some zip-off pants. These ones are made by a company called Prana. I really like their products. The design is really good. You can see here I've zipped off one of the pant legs. It's really easy to do, and these kinds of pants, although they might not be like the world's most sexiest fashionable product, they're really invaluable when you're going somewhere where you need to cover your legs. Most religious places, if you're going into a church, a temple, a mosque. I was in Southeast Asia where it was 100 degrees, so I didn't want to wear pants all the time. I wanted to wear shorts. But if we wanted to go in and see a temple, you could just zip the pants on really quick, pop in, take them off when you came back out. That was really easy. So zip-off pants, also highly recommended for backpacking. And the last thing that you're not going to find in this bag and that you're going to have to bring with you every single time you travel is something that only you have, and that's a positive attitude and an open mind. You have to remember the reason that we go a lot of these places and we see cool things that aren't like what we're used to or to get the experience of what other locals live like and how they eat, how they dress, what they do with their day. And it's going to be different from what you're used to. And you might think, oh, I don't like that kind of food, I'm not going to try it, or this sleeping condition doesn't look very comfortable, so maybe I'm just going to stay in a really nice hotel because that's what I'm used to. Those things are great, but you should always just keep an open mind about what you want to get out of your travels. There are so many experiences that I never would have had if I wasn't open to just trying something new. So always bring with you an open mind and a positive attitude, and you're going to have a great trip. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you got some great ideas about your own trip, and I'll see you soon.